All right, good afternoon and welcome to our board meeting of the Glenn County Board of Assessors. I will declare that we have a quorum of 4 of 5 members present and call us to order. Before we get to the agenda items, I would like to take this moment to, I guess, welcome back is the proper term, Ms. Miller. We're glad to have you back, and hopefully it'll be a good experience. I mean, I don't know whether to congratulate or give condolences to someone agreeing to serve on this board, but
Been there, done that.
yeah, absolutely. So welcome back, and we're glad to have you. All right, now we have the approval of the minutes of our past meeting of July 25th, 2024. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have a second? Excuse me.
I second.
All right, so we have a motion to say, is there any change or any additions that anyone would recommend? Hearing none, I'll call it to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, that is approved. I will now turn it over to our chief for chief appraiser matters.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ron Glisson, Chief Appraiser with the Glenn County Property Appraisal Office. First item on the Chief Appraiser Matters list, the 2023 Preliminary Department of Audits and Accounts Sales Ratio Study. This is hot off the press. Received this today. So just to go through a little bit of information here. And this is located in the left side of your packet. But on page 4, you can see the 2023 ratio analysis. Residential, they had 853 sales, which they call samples, with a median ratio of 38.23%. And then they had 879 agricultural. They had a median ratio of 38.19. And then commercial, 25 samples, some of which were actually appraisals and not sales, which had a 37.80 median ratio. And then industrial, 26 samples, of which some of those were appraisals as well, 37.60%. So this is pretty good news. Looked at the statewide, 159 counties, looked like about 20 counties that did not pass the ratio. Of course, they have appeal rights and all. So this is a preliminary, and what that means is that they're going to have some hearings, arbitration, legal requirements, and once that's conducted and complete, then we'll have the final version of the DOA 23 ratio study. So this is something that happens every year, and we look forward to 25. We've got a more forensic. The Department of Revenue audit is coming for the Tax Digest 25, so we'll look forward to that be our next audit that we go through. So if there's any questions, I'll try to answer.
Why is the sample size so high on agriculture?
It's agriculture is rural land parcels, and we've got a lot of rural land parcels that have sold, and so that's why.
I mean, I would say the residential side of things, you'd have a considerable amount.
Yeah, there's more residential than anything in Glenn County.
But they have more samples of the agricultural than they do the residential.
Correct. That's correct. Yeah.
I mean, is there just any explanation for that?
No explanation.
Okay.
Yeah, no explanation. And this is just so that y'all would know. This is taking the 23 digest numbers and comparing it to calendar 23 sales. So this is a way for the state to determine whether they're sale chasing improprieties that the counties are doing. So this is what this audit is about, more so than anything.
And if I read this all correctly, the only one that falls outside of the ratio boundaries is the public utility, which is not our job to.
Right, that's state regulates that, but that's based off of last year's DOAA study.
Okay.
So this year will be adjusted after you see the final. It'll get adjusted to the final version.
Right, but I'm saying that everything else that basically falls on this office is well within range.
Right. Yes, sir. So.
All right, are there any other questions or comments? To me, it looks like the office should be commended for good work.
Yeah, want to give credit to James Lane, took the lead on it. Also, Yolanda Ward, they instrumental in getting this audit completed. They handle it every year, and I want to reach out and give them thanks for the job well done. So item 2 is the property appraisal office expansion update. As we sit here today, we've got the furniture ordered, should be delivered end of next week. We've got the room is painted and cleaned, and then we've got electronics, computers that will be relocated after we get the furniture in there. So we're looking at probably 2 to 3 weeks before we go live with our new office space. And we're going to correct some signage, put the property appraisal office homestead exemptions located here so that the public will know, and then we'll put a big sign out where the public's used to coming in, ingress, egress. We'll put a big sign there that says, hey, we're around the corner. So we figure the current signage has property appraisal office, restroom, homestead applications. So we think we better get rid of the restrooms just in case moving forward, we think that's a good idea. So they will gonna redo that, and been working with facilities. I tell you, facilities, Sean Robinson been great to work with. They've been helpful, and IT as well. So definitely appreciate all the help that we've gotten to date from those groups. Any questions on that? I'll move on to item number 3.
How many people are you gonna move to the new side?
We're gonna have three people. If you look at the confines of the office, we'll have 2 desks in the front, and then there's a partition that'll have another employee there. And so what this is gonna do is this is gonna create extra space. So we're gonna have every employee is gonna have either a cubicle or an office. And then we also have expansion where the current reception is. That'll be expansion for 2 more offices. Because we have visions of we're adding a new real personal property supervisor for the next budget year that'll kick off in November. So our goal is to have a new person so that everyone will have office space or cubicle space, and not just out in the open like, as you know, we used to have. Yeah, so we're looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be a nice setup, and I think the public, I think it'll reap some benefits. So, yeah. So item number 3 is the 2024 appeals. We've got 1,120 total appeals for this digest. To date, assuming that the Board of Assessors approves the changes that are brought before them and the no changes, we'll have 619 no changes that have passed through the Board of Assessors and 9 changes. So right now the balance, we've got, we're well over halfway through the Board of Assessors. So, our goal is always to have the appeals finished on or before the end of the year as we go into our revow inflationary portion of the digest. But challenge, we fell short of that last year, but hopefully this year we'll have it done close to the end of the year. So I know I've talked with Felicia Collins, who's the appeals administrator, and she has told me that they're going to start scheduling those early next month. So we're looking forward to that and the challenges that lie ahead for the appeal season. So
You haven't officially had any appeals with the taxpayer?
no appeals have been scheduled to date. So
we're through the 600.
Yeah, we're kind of at the mercy of the clerk of Superior Court's office there, but they're good to work with and typically do a great job on the scheduling and coordinating all of that. So we're happy to be a part of that. So unless there's any questions, that will conclude the chief appraiser matters. Yep.
That's it.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is our consent agenda. Everyone should have received amended reports by email today. Was it sent? Today. There were just a few little glitches and some questions that I believe have all been corrected. It still goes back to the growing pains with Tyler that we're having, and just on some of the no changes, I don't know if you noticed, but it would actually, zeroed out the values on the previous spreadsheets. So, and Ms. Miller, this is our new format. I don't really care for, I like the old format a lot better, but this is what we have to work with the new system. And at this point, I mean, does anyone have anything to pull from the consent agenda?
I was curious about the Wendy Bird. I know sales price I get.
Well,
But
why don't you just say,
I'm
let's
sorry.
pull that
Yeah,
one
let's
from
pull the 0405963.
we just pull that particular item, which is,
Oh, I'm sorry.
which one is that? That's the, appeals with adjustments, 30-day
Yeah,
notice.
yeah.
Okay. So that's item number 2, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get the sales price correction. I was just curious why.
Okay. Yeah, we'll pull that item, and does anyone have any reason to pull any of the other 2? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve items 1 and 3 of our consent agenda.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, that is approved. All right, so now we'll move on to number 2, which is real and personal property appeals changes with 30-day notice. And you had a question about one of the items?
Yeah, there was a sales price of $810. I was just curious why it sold so low. Was it I saw when I looked it up, it was a disqualified sale, so I wasn't sure. I mean, they get sales price, but it was still an $800 sale in the Island Club. I was curious if it was falling down or.
Well, isn't that one of the DeSola properties that sold, and it was, I think there were some condition issues.
Yeah, I believe it was some condition, but, obviously they get their sales price.
Sure,
Right.
Sure.
But
We aired and didn't give it to them, they billed.
Gotcha. It's just, half.
That's a good deal.
It's pretty good deal.
Right.
Okay. I was just curious.
But I think after some remodeling, it'll be back up to where
Oh, I'm sure.
where it is. But
They're remodeling right now.
yeah, they're remodeling now, and so I mean, there will be some adjustment for the Scarlett Williams portion as well. Correct. So, okay. All right. Is there any other discussion regarding this particular spreadsheet? All right. Then I will entertain a motion to approve real and personal property appeals changes with 30-day notice.
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, old business, True Roll. It is my understanding that we don't have a contract back yet.
Yes, so I reached out to Attorney Mumford today. So I know he's been kind of engulfed with work and going to get to us. And my hope is that he'll have the contract reviewed and any changes. But then I know that at that point we'll have to review that and then also go to Finance Committee and then on to the Board of Commissioners for approval of that since it's outside the budget. So
Have you done at the Finance Committee level, or does it have to actually go in front of the full?
Well, it'll go in front under the probably consent, and they may have questions, there too, may or may not at the under the consent. But
All right. If I need to attend that meeting,
yeah, I would expect that. But so I imagine that we'll have the contract at the next meeting, which we're only meeting one time in September due to the conflict that was previously mentioned. So yeah, I think we're in good shape with that.
And Ms. Miller, just to catch you up to speed, True Roll is a software program that identifies inconsistencies in the L5 or homestead exemptions. And it's a $70,000 contract for the software.
Yeah.
Right? But they guarantee that they will collect at least that much or return whatever they don't, whatever's recovered in taxation. So it's really kind of a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned, but as long as the contract is well written, and we're guaranteed that. But that's what the true role is, so you'll know moving forward. Does anyone else have any other old business? Then we will move on to chairman board member items. I would just like to update everyone, including staff, especially you, Miss Yolanda. So I contacted Sheriff Jump and asked him about some possible training to help us with, being secure out in the field and in the office, and also about, since we are moving into new space, making sure that that space is properly secured and safe for all employees. In September, I don't know if y'all have been made aware of this yet, but there will be a training for all staff regarding how to diffuse situations or remain safe. And also they're going to take a look at the space to make sure that, not only the new space, but the existing space, to make sure that the office is as secure as possible. So I didn't forget about you. So I wanted to make sure that, we're doing everything we can. I don't know that you can make sure there's 100% safety, but we can make sure that you are as safe as possible. So are there any questions or comments regarding that? Or do you have anything further to add?
No.
You've spoken with one of the...
Yeah, Deputy Beckham reached out and said September 24th, so we're going to have a full staff meeting leading into that. Then he's going to come in and speak on the inside and outside safety protocol and some ideas.
And this is just kind of an add-on to what you're already doing. I mean, I know you're going out in at least pairs when you're viewing properties and that sort of thing, which I think is always a good practice. So we just want to make sure you guys are safe, when you are out in the field, and we appreciate it. So is there any other new business from any other board member? No?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, is there a need for an executive session? Hearing none, I will again say welcome back, Ms. Miller. We're happy to have you. And at this point, I'll bring us to the best part of the meeting. I'll declare us adjourned.